Hey, crypto family. So some exciting times in crypto right now. I know Bitcoin is held above that $7,400 to $7,500 level, which is great. I know we had a small pullback yesterday. I made a video on why that happens. But let's look at today, and we can see right now an interesting thing I've noticed is there's actually an inverse correlation with Bitcoin and altcoins now. As you noticed, whenever Bitcoin rallied, altcoins would rally as well. But recently, you can see Bitcoin's up 1.76% to $7,478. But then a lot of the altcoins are down a couple percent. So it's more of that same situation that we saw kind of the end of last year and kind of beginning of this year, how that cross correlation is happening with Bitcoin now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because as some know, if we do have a reverse and it does reach new lows, then, hopefully altcoins will pump. So again, still too soon to say if this is going to stay this way or the correlation is going to change, but it's just something to keep in mind. So going over Bitcoin right now, it seems like it's found a good support at around the $7,300 level. This is a 4-hour chart here, and you can see it's bounced off there 3 times, and it's held strong, and right now it's nearly at $7,500. Now I'll go ahead and go to the 1-day chart so you can see more so what I'm looking at. So looking at right now, the 128-day moving average. Now, this was previous resistance for Bitcoin whenever it hit near that average and then it came back down. But this moving average right now is at about 76.50. So if we can break above that, then the next big resistance is 7,800. A lot of people are looking at this resistance. Bitcoin actually failed to break that 3 times about a month and a half ago. So this continues to be the main resistance people are looking at. If we break 7,800, again, go into 8,000 and break through that, then we're looking around this $8,500 level where there was some more resistance. So, we'll see what happens if we can break this. Hopefully we can. But one thing I want to go over is, the RSI, is pretty overbought. So we could have a pullback soon. But as you know, RSI being overbought doesn't really matter in this market, especially on a rally with a lot of volume. So, I'm hoping we can keep this rally going and break through this $7,800 level. But one of the things today that's maybe helping it is there was an interview with Arthur Hayes, who's the CEO of Bitmex, and this was actually on CNBC about an hour ago. And they asked his opinions on, hey, was this a short squeeze? Is Bitcoin going higher? What's your views on it? And basically what Arthur said is he believes, of course, there was a strong short squeeze at $6,800. He said that I think there was over $230 million liquidated on that short squeeze. But he said, while he believes we'll continue the rally, he thinks that the bottom for Bitcoin isn't in just yet. He said he wants to see, test $5,000, see if that holds, and to really solidify that the bottom is in. So he thinks there's, the rally could keep going up to $9,000, $10,000, just like last rally went, but he doesn't think that the bottom is in just yet. So kind of, double-edged sword there, but nonetheless, it's good to see a side, and hopefully, again, while he is still positive that will climb higher, hopefully we see that comes to fruition, and we'll have to see as the next, couple weeks roll by. So some articles I want to cover is some people that are pretty bullish on Bitcoin right now. And this article was published yesterday. It's on Cointelegraph. And it says, billionaire investor Mark Lasry, Bitcoin can soon hit 40,000 as trading becomes easier. It says Avenue Capital Group co-founder Mark Lasry has said that Bitcoin's price is going to hit $40,000 in bullish comments to CNBC. Speaking in an interview for the network Squawk Box segment, Lasry, whose debt management firm controls around $9.6 billion in assets, saw increasing ease of crypto trading as a major motivator for Bitcoin to rise, noting, quote, as it gets more into the mainstream and as more market makers end up allowing it to trade where it's freely tradable, to me, that's more of the bet. So again, basically he's just saying, as more exchanges open up, as more people bring it into their firms, let their clients invest in it, and it just spreads around the world and makes it easier through mobile apps, different exchanges opening on those, more and more people are going to get into it, and it'll just increase that exposure. And one of the big things that he said that I want to point out is, one, he said he foresaw, Bitcoin investors making 5 to 10 times their money in 3 to 5 years, which is pretty conservative, seeing a lot of the estimates for Bitcoin. But he also said that he has 1% of his net worth into cryptos. So I thought that was huge, because if you look at this guy's net worth, it's actually 1.68 billion dollars. So 1% of that equates to 16.8 million dollars. So that's insane. He has $16.8 million in Bitcoin. That tells you exactly how confident he is in it, and exactly, kind of he's putting his money where his mouth is. So, and his prediction is still on the conservative side, because you see Tim Draper, his 2022 Bitcoin forecast is 250,000. You have McAfee, of course, 1 million by 2020. So a lot of these people are bullish on crypto, and they are in the know with a lot of their investors and people they network with. So it's not to say this is out of range, but just to give you an idea of where these people are coming at, and a couple of the reasons why they think Bitcoin can hit these high prices, which I believe is 40,000 is definitely viable by the end of the year. And last but not least, article I want to cover is one, and this one's pretty funny. It's on Crypto Coin News, and it's published today, and it says JPMorgan wants to use blockchain to issue ICO tokens. So those who don't remember, JPMorgan, the CEO, Jamie Dimon, he was infamously quoted as saying Bitcoin is a fraud, and that was last year, kind of the start of the downturn that we had in Bitcoin. But basically, he retracted his comments and said, okay, maybe I don't know as much about cryptocurrency, but he still didn't like Bitcoin. Well, as you know, JPMorgan deals a lot. One, they were dealing a lot with Bitcoin overseas in Europe, but two, they deal a lot in blockchain. And it says here that one of the things they were working on, it says they had a patent that was filed for a distributed system that uses blockchain technology to issue virtual depository receipts that sound suspiciously like initial coin offerings, or ICO tokens. And basically what it is it would essentially be a security token regulated under the authority of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission or other local security regulators. And basically it's like a way to track certain purchases. So it says it outlines a method whereby users on a distributed network such as a blockchain can tokenize assets and trade these virtual depository receipts. To create a security token, an originator such as an asset owner or broker will encumber the asset by entrusting it to a qualified custodian who will then authorize a virtual receipt for the deposited assets. And then basically the other person can, so to speak, cash in that virtual receipt to receive their equity. And it's going to be done, through the blockchain. And I thought this was funny because JPMorgan, was so, or at least the CEO was so against Bitcoin, and now they've been working with blockchain all this time. So it goes to show you that a lot of these banks, a lot of these companies are getting into blockchain, are getting into Bitcoin. Even if they don't say it straight up, a lot of this stuff will become public, because this patent was actually filed in January, but it wasn't released to the public until today. So again, who knows what other companies are behind the scenes working on blockchain, working on Bitcoin, accumulating cryptocurrency. So, just because you see a lot of negative news, don't take that as face value. There's always something going on in the background, and there's always people who have another agenda. So just wanted to bring that out. Kind of funny that JPMorgan's really going into blockchain right now when they were seen as being so against it. But with that, that was all I had for today. So if you liked the video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and until next time, thanks for watching.